Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Stella Live, and in today's video we are heading to Michael's to check out their Halloween decor, and I am so excited. And as always, I try to show you everything that I see in store, and I also include the prices, so if that is something that interests you, then please keep watching. Okay, to kick off this walkthrough, we're going to be checking out the pillows, and there are a couple that I actually really liked, and I will point them out when we get there. But first, I really quickly wanted to talk about Michael's pricing. I think that their pricing for some items is absolutely ridiculous, so I highly suggest waiting for things to go on sale. And the only way I would encourage buying something at full price is if it's something that's popular and you think it's going to sell out. Anyways, with that being said, this skull pillow was one of my favorites out of the pillows. However, I really wished that the pattern was on the back side of the pillow as well. And then my next favorite pillow, I'm not showing it yet, but it is in the background. It's the little ghost pillow holding the candy corn. It's kind of like a duplicate of the Pottery Barn ghost pillow, but that pillow is holding a pumpkin, and I think it lights up. I don't remember, but I thought this was very cute. I also wanted to mention that I do think that they have way more pillows this year than they have had in previous years. I might be making that up, but as I was recording, it definitely felt like there was way more pillows than they had last year. I also really liked this blanket, and honestly, I probably would have bought it if it was made out of a different fabric and if it was on sale. Okay, before I forget about this, I did ask you guys in my last video what kind of content you wanted to see from me, and a lot of you guys came up with some really great ideas, so thank you for that. I did think of a series that I want to do on my channel, and let me know if you would be interested in it, and it would be called Dark Home Diaries, which is just me doing makeovers to rooms in my house, basically. And I did mention previously that I was going to be doing a living room makeover if I didn't somehow delete the video clips that I previously recorded. And thankfully, I did check to see if I still have them, and I do. So if that is something that you guys would be interested in seeing, please let me know, because I think that would be so much fun and I would have so much fun recording that. When I saw this pumpkin, the first thing I thought of was Pac-Man, and I want to see who else instantly thought of Pac-Man when they saw that. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of struggling trying to figure out what to talk about in this video, and I know that I have told a couple of you about this, but I am currently writing a book, and it's about a coven of witches, and yeah, I feel like I should tell you guys this, so maybe if I tell you guys, it will hold me more accountable to actually finish writing it. I have been working on it for the past year, however, I haven't been working on it every single month. So, I wanted to share that with you guys, so maybe one day I will actually finish it. And with that being said, I'm always looking for some good book recommendations. I love fantasy, I love murder mystery, I love romance. I honestly will read anything. I love reading. So if you guys have any good book suggestions, please leave them in a comment down below. So I don't know how many of you remember Michael's Halloween last year. I did a video, I said it was bad, and a lot of people got offended that I had an opinion on it. I did want to say that some of the items last year are repeated this year in the Halloween lines, and I will say I do think it's better than last year. However, most of the stuff that I'm showing in this video isn't my personal style. Right now, this line, I'm not sure what this particular line is called, but it's more traditional Halloween. And here in a couple minutes, you will see the other Halloween line, and it's very much giving Mean Girls and Monster High, which honestly, it's not my style, but I don't hate it because I love me some Mean Girls, and I also have a lot of memories of when my daughter was younger and she loved Monster High, and it was something that we did to bond together. We would watch Monster High together. So, again, it's not really my style, but I can appreciate it. For those of you who are curious about this piece does light up. When I was holding it, I didn't even realize that it lit up until I turned it around. As for these bathtubs, I thought they were interesting. I do kind of like the ghosty one, but other than that, I don't know how I feel about them. Again, this is not really my style, but I did think that this was really cute. I feel like, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think that these might be repeats from last year, those little ghosties that I was just showing, because I'm almost confident that I almost purchased the ghost holding the jack-o'-lantern. Am I wrong? I feel like they had those last year. Okay, because there were so many nutcrackers and I spend so long in the stores filming, I literally film everything that I see. I didn't film each nutcracker individually, but every single one of these are $14.99 each. And then it's the same situation with these cats and dogs wearing costumes. These are each $7.99. This is an item that I do believe was at Michael's last year, and if it wasn't, it was something very similar. Okay, I think this glitter globe might have played music, but I didn't even realize it had one of those little twisty things on the bottom until editing this video. Also, these witch hands, very cool. I loved them. However, I don't really dig the peace sign. Okay, and this is what I mean when it comes to Michael's prices. That haunted house was literally made out of cardboard. So can someone please tell me why it was marked for $29.99? I cannot comprehend that. Okay, for anybody who is interested in this witch boot, it is hollow inside. I feel like I don't normally see this with these type of items. Also, these little jack-o'-lanterns, I'm not sure why, but the small jack-o'-lantern does not light up, but the larger two do. So I was also confused by that. Okay, we are finally getting into the Mean Girls Monster High line. It's not actually called Mean Girls Monster High. It's just very much giving Mean Girls and Monster High. The skulls that are on a lot of the decor items remind me of the skull from Monster High. There's a pink heart plate that reminds me of Draculaura. There is just so much with this particular line that gives me nostalgia, I guess. Again, not my style, but I can definitely appreciate it. This is another item that I thought was cool. I didn't buy it because I'm not really a pink girly, but I thought it was cool. Okay, so I was just thinking about a comment that I received yesterday, and it was about my Gothic garden. I did not plant any flowers this year. I actually bought some flowers, and then I never planted them, and they ended up dying, unfortunately. But I do have plans to move my flower bed from where it's at now to the other side of my yard. And I was thinking that maybe I could do like a fall gothic garden. And maybe I'll film that if that's something you guys would be interested in. So please let me know if it is, and I will film it. Because I did have a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak. I did have a lot of fun filming my gothic garden last year. See, these skulls right here are very much giving Monster High. If you know, you know. Okay, so this is something else that I was very confused by. This bag is $19.99, but then this is $14.99, and then when we open it up inside, it's a ring holder and there's a little pocket. I don't know, I feel like that would be more expensive than the bag because the other one was just a bag, you know? So I'm just really confused by Michael's pricing. Okay, so this is the heart platter plate thing that I was referring to earlier that is giving me major Draculaura vibes. And if you were or are a Monster High watcher, I know they don't make it anymore, but I always loved Draculaura, which is odd because I did say that I'm not a pink girly and she was very pink, but she was my favorite character. So if you have a kid in your life, or even if you just watched the show yourself, I am making no judgments because I probably would have still watched it even if I didn't have a daughter. Who was your favorite Monster High character? Okay, so I did really quickly want to talk about these skeletons with the little kid skeletons. I remember they had those last year, and I'm very surprised that they were repeated this year because I remember specifically last year, quite a few people thought that those were morbid. So I was very surprised to see those in the store again. Okay, and then here we are with the Mean Girls references. Like this coffin, I thought that this was cute. Get in, loser. And then this boo book, instead of burn book, it's a boo book. And I had seen on TikTok people showing that boo book, but I was so confused as to what it was because they weren't showing that it was a container. So it is a container. And then they have this little card that says, "Get in, loser, we're going haunting." Like, stop. That is so cute. All right, these next two items are shaped rugs. They have this cat-shaped rug, and then they have this vampire mouth-shaped rug for $49.99. And then they have this disco ghost for $149.99. All right, now we're going to be moving on to the Halloween tree decor. And they have this ghost tree topper, this bat tree topper, and then they have the actual tree itself. I could not find a price on the box, and I didn't show the ornaments that were behind it because I was running out of time, and this video is already so long. But I do have plans to go back to Michael's, and I will record that stuff then. So if it is something that interests you, don't worry, I'm going back and I will be recording some more. So I actually quite liked these cats. However, I wish they were like less perfect, if that makes any sense at all. I did really like them though. All right, so we're getting to the end of it, and then once again, we have these stand-up ghosts. I feel like they have these every year. I feel like they've had them for the past 3 years, and they have several different types. Alright, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have another walkthrough coming. We're going to be going to Cracker Barrel and checking out their stuff. And I do have some more videos planned. They're not all just going to be walkthroughs, and I do have some DIYs planned. And I would love to do a variety of DIYs this year. Maybe I'll do a couple of Dollar Tree focused DIYs, and then a couple of DIYs using supplies from other stores such as Walmart. And I do have a video coming out probably next week. I'm going to be going through my Halloween decor. So if that is something that interests you, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, I really want to take the time to thank you guys for the beautiful comments that I received on my last video. I was nearly in tears reading some of your guys' comments, and I might start crying now. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna cry on the internet. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I really appreciate all the nice and supportive things that you guys were saying, and I can't believe that I even thought about quitting. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here before I do get a little bit too emotional. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Bye!